Good evening, viewers. The Idea Factory is back with a new session. Today, I have with me our August speaker, Mr. TUHIN Mukherjee, who, as we all know, is the founder of Strategic Consulting. And currently, he's also the India Ambassador of Kotler Impact and has been, instrumental in spreading the Kotler programs within India. Welcome to the program, Mr. TUHIN Mukherjee.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Right. With this introduction, we start the session. Today's session is about the challenges that startups and MSMEs are facing in the recent times. As we all know, being a startup is not easy because there are so many challenges, and as we all know, that the survival rate is only 10%. So there are a humongous number of challenges that startup face, and which does not allow them to grow. Okay, so today we thought, why not shortlist a few of these challenges and see what we can do for them. So let us see what kind of challenges startups face, and how we can solve their problems. Right. As we can see that they have a lot of many problems, but today we thought, why not examine the top three challenges that startups face. And as we all know, the most important problem that startups essentially face is to get customers on board. That is the real solution for all the problems of startups, or for that matter, any company. And as per our recent data, about 70% of the startups come to us with this kind of a problem and request some intervention or to give some suggestions to help them improve that. Secondly, is about thought leadership or innovation, because we have been insisting about innovation right from the beginning of these sessions, and we have harped upon the fact that need for an innovative product or a service to be sustainable in the market. And many of these, they actually come with a thought leadership problem or an innovation problem to be solved, because over the time they lose their competitive advantage and customers don't buy their product. And lastly, as we know, because startups do not have a very high budget, and neither do they have the brand power, marketing becomes a real problem. And there are so many different ways of doing marketing. The people burn their cash, but they don't get the results. So these are the kind of problems that startups face nowadays. And let us examine them one by one. Customer acquisition. By this, we mean that how to get new customers on board. Now, that is a very big, challenging task when a firm begins on its own without any legacy, or people have not heard about them, nor they have the huge marketing budget to do advertisement to sell their products. So that becomes a very important challenge. So initially, what they do is they start with their current pool. Most of the startups, whenever they start, they have their current pool of customers, either in the form of friends, relatives, or previous jobs, or whatever. They have a certain list of customers to begin with, and they start selling it to them for a you kind of a review and check of the product or the service that they have. And with that confidence, they go to the next level, which is they go to the new channels and the new customers. Yeah. So now, with the first one in place, going over to the second one, to the new channels and new customers, is essentially through the traditional routes. Here we are talking about the traditional methods of going out to new channels and new customers, where they either tie up with a if they have a product, they either they set up on the e-commerce site, or they tie up with the nearby shops, or they do a tie up with other companies to sell their products. And there are various other ways of reaching out to the customers through which they get their new customers. And then slowly they move into the new age method of getting customers. New age is the digital method of doing customers. And we all know that their database services are a good source of getting leads for customers. And that is also another way wherein they buy databases from the market and they start cold calling. Nowadays, there are also lead generation services which provide the leads, and from there they have their telecallers to call them and convert them into getting the products. And so these are the several other ways. And finally, is the a bit more expensive one is the social media marketing, through which you sell it through Facebook. You try it with Instagram and so many other social media avenues to get to sell your product to the market. But that is the in thing today. So these are the some of the essential methods that we talk to them. In terms of our experience, there have been several customers that have come to us with these kind of problems and solutions. And in recent times, a small jewelry shop, when we help them out, they have seen about a 70% jump in sales within a very short period of 6 months. On top of that, many of them come and suggest or request us to what are the initiatives that we can take to help them increase the customers acquisition, probably because these are all established practices which anyone can do. But what are the things that we can do? Here we are proposing, or we have already started working on something called a networking platform, where we are getting all most of the entrepreneurs on board to build a kind of a networking team, just like you have the BNI or you have the TIE network, but the only difference is that we are doing it absolutely free of cost. So we are requesting startups to actually, you can come over, you network with the other startup guys out here and do business with them. Of course, there will be a part of our revenue sharing fees at a later point when you actually close the deal. But at the initial stage, there are no charges associated. So this is our initiative in helping our customers to you do business within the framework that we have, and that has got a very good review from many of the customers or the startups who have come to us, and we hope that we will be able to build it up to a national and then a global platform where our customers can do business with each other, and the trust factor of the idea factor remains within that. So with this initiative, I would rather hand over the baton to Mr. Tuhin Mukherjee. Mr. Mukherjee, you can add some value
Yeah.
to this thought.
Yes, thanks a lot. So basically, that customer acquisition, it is one of the most important and complex method, because if when we need to acquire the customer, first of all, that we need to have a proper marketing channel. Number one. Number two, we need to focus on the product. Number three, that how to reach the customer, means how to actually get the target audience. These are the three factors we need to consider. Now, always that customer acquisition is expensive method. So for the startups or the new organization, they could actually strategize this matter in a different way. See, we have seen that Nike, they did not bring actually any of their direct how means direct selling means kind of the infrastructure at first. They got it much later because they are actually distributing through distributors. So like that, many organizations did this strategy where they don't need to incur the fixed cost. So that customer acquisition is a kind of the thing we need to understand, that how we strategize and reach to our target audience with the minimum cost. Because directly actually putting the money into the marketing and reaching to the customer is very expensive. So there are numerous methods and the ways that we could work on. So I would like to invite all the means SME business owners to have a one-to-one kind of the consultation where we can explain it in detail. Yes, Mr. Majumdar.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mukherjee. Now we pass, we go over to the next topic, which is, the thought leadership. Thought leadership is not a very unknown topic in our portal, because we have been talking about thought leadership in almost about 50 to 60% of our videos, wherein we actually harp upon innovation as a very big strategic advantage of startups to sustain in the market. And many of the startups, when they come to us, we actually check their innovation quotient, or what kind of new features they are offering to the market, and many of them actually need a bit of tweaking and suggestion and thought process to improve the services that they offer to the market. So the first thing that we see when a startup comes to us for advice is basically whether they come with some unique differentiator or not, or whether because the product is selling, they just want to sell the product in the market and make some big money. The problem with the good part of this is that there's a ready market, so you can sell the product. But the bad part is that you are a me too service in that category, and within a very short time you may not be able to sustain your business or build a scalable model around it, because the market leaders have already captured the brand name. So it's always pays to be have a unique differentiator within your product or whatever. Not only that, once you have a unique differentiator, you must also have a steady differentiation module in place, so that you keep on innovating over a period of time. Because once you launch the product and the product is very successful, others will actually jump in, because the people don't do the R&D, or they don't build the market. They see someone being successful, and they would jump into the bandwagon. So it's very important to have a steady differentiation process in place, so that you keep on improving the quality of your product, your service, your business model, and slowly be an innovative player in the marketplace. That is a sure short way of getting customers aboard, on holding them, and to get futuristic, and to get them future business from them. Another, as we keep on thinking, is to have futuristic thinking, which means that you think what may come, and then you work backwards and see what you can offer, because that is what the MNCs are doing. Though they have a huge money power, they have the brand name, they are the bigger ones, and the startups are not really the guys to do that. But many startups are doing that, and they are launching products that are not there in the market. And they do that. For example, in COVID times, if you look at Zomato, and if you look at Swiggy, they offered services which are not rocket science, right? Door to door delivery or home service support services, but they became a killer application, because this was the need of the market, but nobody did it. They could have done that 10 years ago, but COVID was the right time for them to do that. And today, Zomato and Swiggy are household names in every part of the country. Other than that, we are also offering a value chain or a value added framework to work on, to improve the innovation quotient of the core. From our own side, we are building up a thought leadership score, which is a score on 5 or 10 based on certain parameters. And we measure the improvement of the innovation quotient over a period of time. So if you come with a score of 2, then over a period of 6 months, whether the score increases to 3 or 4, or whether 7 or 8, so that becomes a very important measure of the innovative quotient that we have. Now, in recent times, a small food processing company has, we help them with the innovation quotient, and with our thought leadership features, they have built a scalable business in about 10 months' time. So these are good, examples, real life examples, where thought leadership or customer acquisition methods suggested by the Idea Factory are giving good results. With this, I hand it over to Mr. TUHIN Mukherjee. Mr. Mukherjee, if you want to add some points to this.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Majum. The thought leadership is not new kind of the concept. It's a very old concept, but widely misused and misunderstood. Thought leadership is not only the kind of the concept that comes from the top. It should also come from the down. So there should be a kind of the system where the thought leadership culture should be actually means should be given a space in the organization. So there is a kind of the techniques, there is a kind of the methods and the metrics by which we can measure the current position of the thought leadership in the organization, and how they can improve, or how can they improve for a better score, so that their means performance, or their the innovative kind of the thinking comes out from the comes out in a better way in the organization. So these are the kind of the thing that we always can discuss with the organizations, and the organization who are very interested to actually make a new breed of kind of the organization and going for a new kind of the culture. Definitely, we are open to work with them. Yes, Mr. Majumdar.
Thank you. Now we go on to the next topic, which is essentially marketing. Now, marketing is actually a killer thing for the ones who get it right, because that makes your business grow. Because if you in today's world, it's also easier. It can be done from home, because you have this digital marketing in place. But even then, marketing becomes the main reason why a business succeeds and why it doesn't succeed. Because if you don't get your marketing piece right, all the other initiatives are not, they don't add up. So typically, when we study the companies, or whatever companies come to us, basically they also have a bit of their own channels, existing channels, or they are also have some suggestions, which is mostly on the traditional side, lastly. And once they have it, slowly they move into the digital marketing. There is also a time, or there is also a size of the organization, which when we recommend digital marketing to them, it's not that every company will come to us, will recommend them, but it also depends upon the nature of the business and the size of the organization, the budget that they have in mind, through which but in today's world, digital marketing is the in thing. And perhaps when you have your social media, there are a lot of free services that can be available. There are a lot of paid services that are available, and with this algorithm approach, it helps to spread the news far and wide. Okay, today we are flooded with ads in YouTube and Facebook, and a lot of things are selling through that. So that becomes a very good method of reaching out to the customer. And also, as we said, these are all existing methods. Why not pick your brains and find out new and new methods of innovative marketing? Today, in front of our house, in the roadside, also we see a lot of digital boards, which we could not imagine a year back, or 2 3 years back, with a huge screen when they promote their services, and they are very very eye catching, and these are new things that are happening today. So, this marketing, the traditional marketing, digital marketing, they all help in improving the market share of the company, and that helps in reaching out. There are companies, and ironically, the startups do not have a budget, but that is the time when you have to speed up, or be intense on the marketing piece. But ironically, it doesn't work that way. Those businesses that have started, I remember the case of Bharti, and I keep referring it to again and again, when they were on their initial days, the amount of money they could spend on marketing in terms of billboards, in terms of getting Sachin and Shah Rukh Khan on board, that is the kind of spend they could afford at a time when they were quite small, and that critically worked, and that would have been ideal for any startup that we talk on. But it also your budget, your funds, your financial status depends upon the so your marketing plan has to be in sync with that. So, of course, we work with the smaller ones, and we help them. So it's a step-by-step approach, wherein you make some money, you cross the ladder, and slowly you go into it. In recent times, we have worked with a small edtech startup, and with our help, they have been able to catch up about 45% of the market share, a small market share. Of course, they were operating from Calcutta, but that has definitely yielded them results when we help them, through the digital marketing process. Okay, and a lot of innovative ideas also we keep on giving it to our clients, to catch the eye of the customer, and a lot of things work around that. With this, I hand it over to Mr. Tuhin Mukherjee. Mr. Mukherjee, if you can add some points to this.
Yes, basically marketing is the lifeblood of any business. So we need to understand how to do the marketing. And it is also very expensive. The organization which are in an nascent stage, or they are in a startup kind of the phase, it's very difficult for them to do the marketing because of the cash crunch. So we need to devise some kind of the different strategy to reach to the target audience. It is not only the expensive method by which we can reach, but there are also some innovative methods which could give you a certain kind of the growth well at this stage. So we can actually work out. We have done it successfully. Even in our business also we have done it, because we started our business from zero, from nothing basically, or even we can say start from minus quadrant. But nowadays we are actually doing very well and we are up. So we have done also through this innovative kind of the strategies. So applying the strategy innovatively and doing the marketing is the key. The key for for the success of your business. So that is why I would request all the business owners, all the SME owners who are very interested to work with us, they should contact with us, and we can actually go into the detail for that business and understand their mode of doing the business, and definitely help them through the innovative process of marketing. So this is my solution. So I hope we could help the more SME owners. Thanks, Mr. Majumdar, for inviting me in this show. I like to wrap up my session over here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.